Chapter 23. There are so many reasons why I dislike school trips. Number 1, the volume of noise ratchets up to twice the usual level, which is already above my comfort zone. You're also more confined in a small space, being packed onto a coach with around 48 students, far more than the average class, making the sound even more deafening. Number 2, staff are clumped together and want to chit-chat the whole time, adding to the noise level, and with no consideration that some people may just want to sit without speaking and try to zone out from the general melee with meditation, headphones, or earplugs. Number 3, everything takes too long. Getting on the coach, getting off the coach, travelling, counting heads, checking and double-checking the first aid kit. I think of my endless to-do list and wish I had the ability to get more things done without offending anyone or appearing to be a boring jerk. It's a plus point that I'm next to Jen, and this was the carrot on the stick which tempted me to sign up, but I didn't factor in Sean, who sits behind us and addresses Jen in every other comment he makes in his overly loud performance voice. So I said, wait a minute, you can't argue with Lady Marmalade because it was number 1 with Under the Bridge as a AA single. He goes, I thought it was a B-side. I asked Siri. Siri says, All Saints released Lady Marmalade in 1998 as a AA single. Sean does an accurate impression of a computerised voice, and Jen giggles. I roll my eyes. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Now he's singing badly, and entirely inappropriately. I might have to get the earplugs. Thankfully, once we get there, Sean is staffing a different group. We are meeting Whitlock's MP and walking around Parliament, which subdues the kids into some sort of stupefied reverence. As Jen would say, you can smell the history. Have you heard about the development plans for Whitlock County? I take the opportunity to ask the MP as we walk ahead down a corridor. Yes, she replies warily. I think with equality as the main focus, it should be a positive move. I have no idea how equality will be served by the proposal, but this isn't really the time or place to argue, so I merely raise an eyebrow in response. At one point, I probably would have relished the idea of merging Whitlock, a failing school, with Pressfield and totally restructuring the staffing and leadership, ready for a transformation. Now that I've taught in Whitlock, I've been surprised at how good the standard of teaching is, how responsive the pupils are to learning, and Jen's argument that most of the school's inadequacies stem from lack of funding is not lost on me. However, there are definitely some staff who are dead weight, some who seem to feel no sense of responsibility. I imagine Sean larking around at this very moment. He seems to be in this for free trips on the holidays. The same could be said for some of the MPs. We watched PM's questions and the level of jeering and shouting rivals the racket on the bus earlier. Equality burns on repeat in my ear, but the plush seats and the elaborate rituals of our country system scream the opposite. Suddenly I feel weighed down. Can we really make a difference? Is this trip broadening our students' horizons, or merely confirming unhelpful stereotypes? You seem far away, Jen whispers, looking concerned. I sigh, then force a smile. Just tired, that's all. When our slot is over, we congregate outside the building and everyone's taking pictures. Sean snaps a selfie with Jen and shouts that he's uploading it to social media. I bite my tongue. The atmosphere is lighter because the official business is done. Now it's time for freedom. Marge Cook, the head of history and a truly formidable woman, explains the rules. We will walk in our designated groups towards Piccadilly Circus. Your group leaders will choose a specific location as a meeting point. You must remain in groups of 4. You must remain on foot and in the vicinity at all times. You must meet your group leader at the time they give you in order to walk back to the pickup point for the bus. Make sure you have the emergency mobile number as well. Then we're walking into one of the busiest parts of London. The Christmas lights are dazzling, the air smells of cinnamon donuts, and the streets are full of shoppers and performers. It's so glamorous in a way that poor Whitlock could never be. Part of me misses the buzz of being in a city. Jen's eyes are sparkling as she looks at all the window displays. We pass a jeweller and I catch sight of diamonds like the one I've ordered and feel a flip of excitement. Part of me wants to draw Jen's attention to the rings just to see her reaction, but I also don't want to ruin the surprise. Just before I do anything stupid, one of the pupils calls a question over to Jen and she's focused on them as we pass the window by. Probably for the best. We finally reach the outer edges of Regent Street and I address our small group of lanky sixth formers and girls with too much eye makeup. Miss Baker and I will be in this cafe. I gesture behind me. You have our emergency number. Split into 2 groups of 4 and stay together at all times. You have 1 hour. Have fun, Jen adds, beaming as they scatter into one of the world's biggest cities. I need a coffee, I say.